I feel like all the shit that's been going down for the past week or however much time it's been going on between Soulja Boy and now Chris Brown was thrown into the mix. I just feel like when stuff like this piles on to the extremity that it's piled on, as colored people, we always, as colored commentators, we always have to take a step back and take a look and evaluate what it is that we're speaking about. We're really speaking about the fascination that this country has, the fascination that this world has, this romantic, this uncontrollable, passionate energy that this country has for the destruction of colored people. And when I say that, I don't mean it in the sense of racism. I mean it in the voyeurism of it, just to see and the theater of black violence, of black ignorance. And when you see things like what happened with Soulja Boy, when he did that Vlad TV interview and he walked you through the entire story of how he shot those people when they came into his mansion. And I'm sitting there, and even if the story's true, right? I mean, later on, there was a guy named Droop and a group of other people who had jumped on Vlad TV once again, and they had confirmed that, yes, we were the people that Soulja Boy had that altercation with. And while I'm watching all this, I'm just like, if Soulja Boy never picked up a mic, this would be one story out of the thousands that we hear every year from statistics that we get from certain cities in the country, obviously a lot more than others, Chicago being one of them, Baltimore being one of them. It's just the feeling to me that it's turning into way too much of an obsession, right? I mean, if I comment on things, I want to comment about the music and the most extreme point of friction that I ever want to comment about is friction within the music. Because that can be always taken as art, that can always be interpreted as competition, who's better than who, let's put these bars up against each other. And yes, people say very personal things. They say real slick shit to each other in between records. I like to shy away from that and just keep it straight to the music, because then I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't know what I'm communicating to the rest of you. Am I communicating to the rest of you that you guys should underscore violence between blacks? Should you, as a colored person, be in conflict with another because he rubbed you the same way that Soulja Boy rubbed Chris Brown on social media? It's a very convoluted idea in my head, but at the base of what I'm trying to tell you is I really do have no interest in the very fragile aspect of what rap is going to become with the expansion of technology and also with the expansion of drugs. That's another component that gets lost in all of this. It's very easy to look at Soulja Boy. It's very easy to just say, well, he's a fucking coon. He's ignorant. He's a dick. He's always made terrible music anyway, which he has. But it's very easy to look at him and to just dismiss him and just say that he's a coon. But I mean, a lot of these videos that you see, a lot of his Snapchat feeds, I mean, he's drinking lean. If I'm not mistaken, a few months ago, he apologized to, who was it? Lil Yachty, and said that, dude, I'm sorry. I just wasn't, I wasn't getting enough drugs at the time. And now he apologizes to Chris Brown because his mother's in the hospital. I mean, with the expansion of technology and with the amount of drugs that these people take, it's only a matter of time before we run into a situation that gets too real. Charlemagne the God is, he's somebody that always speaks about the universe. He speaks a lot about the law of attraction, and what you ask for is what you get back. And I believe that to be true as well. So one can only think that in the near future, some real ignorant shit is going to happen to somebody. And I predict it's probably going to be an accident. It's probably, it's probably going to be something that was done with harmless intent, but it's going to happen nonetheless. There was a very old comedy sitcom in some Latin American country. I don't remember. It was called Chespirito, right? So it dealt with this really impoverished kid who was played by like a 40 or 50 something year old grown man, and he would always do retarded shit all over the neighborhood. And when he did stupid shit and he was reprimanded for it, he used to have this tagline that used to go, "Fue sin querer queriendo," which the translation in English would be, "It was done without the intention of wanting it to be done." Maybe I stretched that out a little bit, but you get the gist. That's exactly what's going to happen eventually. I know that most of this is just Hollywood shit. It's just people acting out on social media because they know that no harm will come to them. I don't ever dismiss the idea of Chris Brown and Soulja Boy just going back and forth at each other because they want to keep themselves up in the mentions. They want to keep themselves relevant. They want to expand their social media platforms and their brand and all that shit. I get that. But there's going to be an accident at one point. Whenever it will happen, I probably won't be keeping my ear close to it because I like to not feed into stuff like that because I feel like it's damaging. And once again, it feeds into this love that this country has for seeing dead black souls bloodied up on the floor. Far beyond racism. It's like our fascination with just a perfect pair of titties. There's something psychological there that's been imprinted in this country, and it gets manifested every time you see a petty quarrel between two rappers on social media. Something that's happened 1,000 times and always sort of concludes in this anticlimactic manner, like, well, I guess everybody apologizes so we can just move forward. But the fascination just, it comes back nonetheless whenever this shit arises. What did you guys think about this whole thing? I decided to comment on it when it was all over because I knew it would end soon. Please let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you guys next time.